So welcome back to Are We Convinced? This is the podcast where we deep dive into the strange, the funny, and the serious topics that have captured our attention throughout the week. I'm Peter.
I'm Tyree.
And welcome to, I think it's episode 22.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it is 22. It's hard to keep track, but I think it is. One admission I have to make straight off the front is the toast and sugar. It didn't occur to me all week, to be honest. I was going to try and give you an excuse, but it just left my mind. Toast and sugar didn't happen.
Tut. Well, I put my own Instagram poll up on my story, and it does go to show that I must be the weird one.
Yeah, I did. I forgot to share the results. It was like 74% no. But there was still quite a considerable amount of people saying yes.
Yeah, there were still people saying yes, so I'm not entirely alone. But I thought that this was a worldwide thing, and apparently it's not.
No, totally not. But then when I went on to search recipes, people were putting up like, you put cinnamon on it, and there's proper like recipes out there on how to make it. Like one person was saying, put toast and sugar into the air fryer, as we were talking about air fryers.
That's just overkill.
I will try it for next week. Okay. I will try it. And welcome to summer.
Oh, I know. The longer nights are in, it's class.
Like there's just talking last week about the weather and how bad it's been. Like for anyone who doesn't live here, it's basically rained for the entire year.
It's been, even just, April is usually a nice month. But this year it was rain and there was hailstones. It was everything but nice weather. And now the sun is out, the birds are chirping, and I can taste the beer gardens.
It's like amazing how much it changes your mood.
I know. Like I am a completely different person whenever I'm in winter compared to summer.
Yep. Like if I moved to Spain, I would have no life problems.
Oh, same.
But then like last year, remember we had like 2 really good weeks in May, and then the summer was just awful. So I'm convinced like it's shifted. Like the summer is definitely coming earlier.
Well, I really hope not, because I have quite a lot planned this summer, and I would like some nice days to enjoy.
I know, just blue sky. Like one thing I want to bring up, because this has been absolutely everywhere, and every business seems to be doing it now. Have you seen the latest trend on TikTok of, how do you even describe this?
Throwing it back.
Throwing it back? Is that what it's called?
No, it's not what it's called, but
right.
It's just some of the videos I've seen. Everyone's been like...
The page that brought to my attention was Iceland. And they had, first of all, it was this wee woman, and it's all these like viral videos, but they've taken them and then they've just done, I must say, some of them are amazing. Like they really are good. Okay, so for the audio listeners, this is going to be pretty fun. But the rescue mission, and they're like wheeling this person out, but the person falls off the trolley. But as the person falls off the trolley, it transitions into your woman lying on the floor with, what is that, laundry gel and bacterial spray.
Yep.
It's so good. And the effort that they put into them. And then the other one of the guy basically skydiving, and the shoes fall off, but she's catching like a frozen. What is that? What are they? Smileys? It just amazes me that people are so creative. How do you think about that? How do you think of these things up?
I don't know, but it's such a good idea. Like taking what random fails and turning them into success.
And I mean, there's another one of the girl picking the bin bag up, throws it over her shoulder, she falls on the floor, and then it's the woman getting up with pizzas. Oh, you'll have to watch the video of this to see this. But I mean, fair play to the Iceland PR team.
Oh yeah, I mean that one's got over 1 million likes, so I think it's fair to say that I think Currys have been.
Have they?
On the ball with theirs as well. There was one where it was a horse kicking a chicken away, and someone's throwing something into the air fryer and talking about the air fryer as if it was the chicken, which I thought was quite funny as well.
Like some of the trends in TikTok, I just don't get, but that one I do.
Yeah, that one I'm here for.
Yeah,
definitely.
But it's one I can't really recreate. I mean, how do you recreate that in your,
I know you'd need to have a product.
Like imagine you're that social media person. Like your job is safe.
Oh yeah, you need a raise if anything.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Another thing I found when I'm searching things, Your favorite show was making a comeback. If you remember a couple of episodes ago, we were talking about game shows and so on. And you brought up Bring on the Wall.
Oh yeah.
Bring on the Wall is coming back.
It is about time.
Now, whether it's total official or whether it's rumors, I don't know. But I kind of think there has to be some kind of truth in it if there's rumors about it, you know. So I think this is your time, and you need to go searching. This is your moment. I think you should audition.
You think I should go on it?
Yeah, if the auditions are open.
I don't get very many days off.
To be fair, like those type of game shows, it does take up your life. Like I always think about Millionaire, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and like if the person's on the end of one episode, they have to come back in the next episode. So, and I don't know like how far apart they are in recording, but that's like a good week of your life, say, spent over. And do you know what the worst one is? Deal or No Deal, because you have to go to every single show and not know if you're going to be picked for the like to go into the main chair. You know the way you just stand there and you open boxes.
Yeah, I thought they just kind of like did different people per episode.
No, it's one of the people who are opening the boxes. So you have to go to all these episodes, open boxes, and just hope that that episode's going to be yours.
I mean, for this new one, was it Hit the Wall? What is it?
Bring on the Wall.
Oh, Bring on the Wall.
Or is it Hole in the Wall?
Hole in the Wall. I
think he says Bring on the Wall.
I do not think I would be any good at that. As much as I love watching the show, mine would just be an epic fail.
But then you would make the show though.
Ah, well, that's true. That's so sad. You have to fail and get people to laugh at you to become somewhat successful.
I haven't watched any of it, but Britain's Got Talent is back. And it's on TV at the minute. I haven't seen any of it. Again, yeah. And there was a girl on TikTok saying, like you were saying about, was it The Voice that you were saying about?
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that she literally had to go through like 10 or 12 auditions. And one of the auditions was her going into the bathroom. And she was told to go and do her hair and do her makeup. And there was a camera behind the mirror. And that was one of the little auditions to see what she looked like for that wee moment, you know, putting her hair and makeup on for that shot. It's insane.
It's sneaky.
Yeah, it is. You could be the best singer or like, you know, the best at anything in the world, but just have a rubbish personality.
I know these days you yourself need to be a package.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have to have everything.
And the other audition was you stood up and you like retold your sob story. Your sob story was part of the audition. So like Alexa, like Susan Boyle, was just perfect for that.
Yeah. Look, what a wee gem.
I know.
Actually,
she actually came up with my TikTok because she was showing people around her house. Her house, she bought a council house. She didn't go and like buy the extra, but she did it up inside and it looks amazing.
Oh.
It looks amazing. Like what she's done to that wee house is, but it just shows you like she didn't want to go and buy like a mansion or, you know.
I knew that she had went into a council house, but I'll need to look inside. I love looking inside people's houses.
Oh, would you see this? Would you see? Oh, I'm the same. I was out for a walk yesterday and there was a house up for sale and I was thinking, what's the way? I literally went on the notes on my phone, put down the estate agents, just to go on the website of the estate agents to see what the inside looked like. Even though I know I'm never going to be able to afford the house, but just to look inside it.
That's a good idea, actually. Must start doing that if I ever see a house just on the outside that I pass in the street.
Yeah, it's one of my guilty pleasures, definitely. I think they were just pictures. Oh yeah, okay.
That's fancy.
Look at that. You would never think that was just her wee council house beforehand.
I would like that as my house.
And then that was her living room. Brilliant for the audio listeners, by the way. Sorry about that, but it's honestly, it's like a really grand house inside. You would never expect it, you know, if you look on the outside.
A wee piano.
Picture of the Pope.
I'll go without one of
those. But she looks like a different person now. Do you not think like she just looks?
Yeah, she looks like a completely different person.
Yeah, but I mean, and there's the outside. You would never expect that.
No. Imagine being her neighbour and being like, "Aye, my neighbour's Susan Boyle. How about you?"
Yeah. But that's the weird thing. Like you would just know her before the show, and and it'd be just a weird feeling.
I know, especially
Yeah.
if you didn't think that, or like you didn't know that she could sing like that.
Oh yeah,
I'd say that would have been a shock and a half.
yeah, yeah. And I do think I know I was saying there like some of them are like fabricated and so on. I do think her story and all that was real.
Yeah, I
To
think
be
so as
fair,
well.
because like some of the rubbish you see on now, like it's just. And see if I see one more, and I mean I like animals, but see if I see one more dog dancing act or trying to get a dog to, it's just yeah.
I mean, that act will only go on for about another 4 or 5 years.
I know. You need to bring cats in or something different, but bring a hamster in or something. So okay, this is going to be hard in like a big arena, but if you have cameras and stuff, you can put big screens up. But just like a wee mini hamster, uh, like the wee things that the dogs do for Crufts,
Agility.
agility. Have that set up, but have it like for a wee hamster, or have it for like a I don't know, like a wee rabbit or a mouse or something.
Um, rabbit agility courses do exist.
Do they
They do. And
really?
deadly serious.
And what do they look like?
Literally just the same jumps and everything.
And can they do it?
Yeah, they can actually do it.
Oh my god! So I am watching a bunny jump over, basically what a horse would jump over, but
Yep.
bunnies. This is one thing I've never seen: a bunny on a lead.
See, I used to have a bunny, and
Right?
she was able to jump so well. So I
Uh-huh.
was thinking about entering her into one of these, and I had a wee lead for her as well.
I had a rabbit when I was like 5 or 6, so I don't really remember it that much. But um, yeah, just having a rabbit with the house.
You've got me wanting to go and pet a rabbit now.
I forgot how fun rabbits were. It's just like a wee mini dog, but you know that's so cool. Um, oh my god, Crufts for rabbits! Like what is going on?
I know.
That's
Mental.
insane. Another thing that I wanted to bring up was speaking of like sunshine and weather and so on. I was uh, reading somewhere that it's better to drink hot drinks in the sun than to drink a cool drink. A hot drink will apparently cool you down.
I just couldn't do it.
I think I could. I honestly think I could drink like a cup of tea in any weather.
Nah, as much as I love tea, there's no way I am sitting out in Spain on my balcony drinking a cup of tea over a cocktail.
I would say there's a lot of people doing that, like especially from here.
I couldn't. It's just
I,
it's too warm to drink. Whenever it's too warm to drink warm stuff.
there's something about the warm liquid matches your inside to the outside temperature. Something about that. I don't know if that's completely what it is, but it's something about that. It's warming your insides up to the temperature outside.
Right. Is that even possible?
I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know if it works the other way. I don't know, if it's freezing. Do you drink a cold drink? I don't know what happens there.
Oh, see, that sounds like a very bad idea.
Mm,
You'll get hypothermia.
I don't know what happened. I have to do more research on that. But I would I would believe into more the hot drink warming your body up.
Are you going to try it?
Well, I have to move to Spain then.
Ah, that's very true. I'll not be able to try it for another probably about 6 or 7 months.
Right, that's a long wait.
Yeah,
Mm.
so
That's like the longest cliffhanger ever.
that's helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if
Just
someone
waiting.
wants to fund me a holiday so I can try it out, I am
Yeah.
more than willing to comply.
You should approach name a tea make here. Like is Nambari from here?
Jana.
I don't know. Or Panjana. Go to them and say, listen, this is the experiment that we're having, and I'll bring your brand with me.
They'll probably laugh at me.
Yeah, you never know. People have been paid for less.
This is it.
Have you been watching Blue Lights?
Of course, of
Now, by
course.
the way, this is not a spoiler alert, by the way, because I'm not going to say anything. I haven't seen it at them all. So if you're watching it and if you're listening and you haven't seen it, don't worry. I don't want to spoil it. But um, I think this is much better than the first one.
Now, I've only watched the first episode of the second series because
Okay.
I'm trying to hold it off, but even from the very first episode, it looks so unbelievably good,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
I'm so excited to watch the rest of it.
I feel they've settled into the roles now. They've settled into that story. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
I mean, I'd say it's, especially in this country, it's so difficult to make a TV show like that,
Mm.
but it just looks so good.
Because they're all available to watch. It almost defeats the purpose. Just going and watching and binging them all, because then you're left with nothing.
I know, and I am so bad for binging things,
Mm.
but for this one, I want to kind of like stretch it out a bit
Yeah.
because I know that it's going to be good, and I don't want to ruin it all in one night.
Well, I kind of cut myself off at the third. Have I seen the third? Yeah, I've seen the third episode. It's amazing the things they bring up that a lot of us are thinking in this country, and a lot of us know, but they just say it. You'll know, that will make more sense as you watch the episodes. But things that just people are afraid to say or afraid to admit,
Yeah,
and then you're watching it on TV and you're like, oh my god,
I
like
think that's.
they're saying that. Are they allowed to say that?
I feel like in this country, it's quite possibly the only way to do it. It's like if you get a randomer saying it in the street, that's not okay. But
Yeah,
if it's a TV show that everyone can relate to, it is actually gonna open people's eyes.
yeah.
Who's your favorite?
I have to say, who's becoming my favorite. I don't know if you've seen him yet. Have you seen the new guy who's joined from? He was in like the investigation part, but he's now joined the response team, and he's like built. He is like an absolute tank.
Well, yes, I think I saw him in the first episode.
Did you see him the first time? I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember his name now. He's got like the real like blonde, like curly hair ish,
Yes, I know
and
exactly who you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. But like, and especially like in the third episode, he really is good. Although one person I do feel now, I think he's maybe used enough, and it's just used a nice amount. Patty Jenkins as Happy.
Oh, yes.
Like I absolutely love anything that he does. Like he's in my like top three. He'd be the first from this country. Like he is just so sincere. But like as I said, I think he's just used a nice amount.
Mm-hmm.
And then that story kind of evolves. That's the thing. There's just so much going on. There's so many different wee bits of story that you can take from it.
Yeah, I mean, I love Tommy.
Yeah.
He is so adorable
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and so innocent.
And again, it's just like one of the people who you would meet down the street.
Yeah,
He's just so authentic.
yeah. I'm excited to watch the rest of it, and I can't wait now for 3 and 4 whenever they come out.
It does get very good. Like the story is very, very good. But again, when I say that, like it's just so relatable.
This is kind of going off course, but kind of on the same course. Is that I was out with my friends the other night, and obviously I had done that interview, with Declan and Adam, and my friend turns around to me and she's like, "Oh, have you ever heard of that TV show Blue Lights?"
Oh my god.
And it was the three of us in the car, and my other friend looked at me and I looked at her, and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Have you ever heard of it? It's really, really good." And I was like, "Leah, I was involved in an interview to do with it." And she was
Yeah.
like, "What? I didn't know it was that show. I thought it was Dairy Girls." And I was like, "Pay attention, woman. Pay attention."
Yeah. There's always that one friend who doesn't pay any attention to what you're doing, but then asks about 2 months later the same thing.
Oh, 110%. That is definitely her.
But do you find yourself like looking more at the surroundings, and because like you know where it's filmed and the story's about here? Like I felt the same with Line of Duty, but just the wee thing that spoiled about Line of Duty was it wasn't about here. Like it was more confusing than anything else, because you were seeing places from here, but they're talking about places in England, and it just didn't make sense to me. But I mean, great show.
I mean, I never watched Line of Duty, but I know for Blue Lights, because I know it was filmed here, that I am looking in the background to see if I recognize the place. And
Yeah.
so far, I haven't really recognized very many places.
I mean, that
No, maybe that just goes to show that I
you're a country
know.
girl. Just
Yeah,
you're too
that's
busy.
it.
You're out the gap. year.
I'm out the gap. I can't see anything where they've filmed in a city, but you see if they were standing in a field, I bet I could tell you what field that was and
Oh,
where it
100%.
is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what gate there was and all. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Do you
Mhm.
remember when the whole Beyonce thing was happening here in the middle of the field?
That was Rihanna.
Oh, sorry, Rihanna. Rihanna. Why did I say Beyonce?
I don't know.
Why did I say Beyonce? But and Rihanna was like in the middle of
It was a field in
uh,
Bangor.
yeah, in Bangor. But was she in Twinbrook or she was in was it New Lodge maybe?
I didn't know about that, but I knew about the whole field fiasco.
Oh, that's just typical of here as well. People are, let's face it, people are more offended these days than they ever have been.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I have to find this clip of this video. What was it? It was We Found Love, wasn't it?
people started getting offended as well because the song was "We Found Love in a Hopeless Place."
I know, I know. Like it's just a video. Like
I know.
I can't believe this is 12 years ago, by the way.
Oh, don't even. Simpler and better times.
Oh, there's a wee shot. The flats. Is it Divis maybe? I can't remember. I'm probably offending loads of people. Like comparing Divis to New Lodge to wherever else. And there's the field.
Is that the field?
Like, what is wrong with that? Like, what is wrong with that shot, really? And then because of the whole field thing, they had to then go to the chip. Yeah, they had to go to this chip shop and just film the rest of it in here. But then again, what's the connection with Rihanna and where she filmed it? Like, what? I never got that connection.
I don't know. It's so random for her to come
Yeah,
to Northern Ireland to record.
so bizarre. I feel it's definitely a hotspot now. Especially after Dairy Girls and then now Blue Lights and like it's like what next?
The place is popping now.
It is.
But it's good. Like, it's nice to see that actually happening.
Hmm.
Because it's not entirely a bad place.
I know. Game of Thrones. I meant Game of Thrones as well.
Yeah, Kevin
Like,
Hart.
I like even just when you drive past Titanic and you see the studios, and I think there's even still a bit of the set of Game of Thrones there.
Oh.
And they were filming something recently down there too. And just even like the sets you see, it's really bizarre just driving past them. You expect it to be Hollywood.
Belfast is the new Hollywood.
Yeah, 100%. A final thing I want to moan about, right? I was driving down, I think it was the Carryduff Road. This is just outside Carryduff. And I seen a petrol station and I was playing that usual game where I've got 29 miles left in my car and I always leave it to the last minute. Do you go halfway and then fill, or do you go right down?
I go right down to the zero.
Do you?
Until I am praying
Yeah.
that my car is going to make it to the pump in time.
It's a nice game, but it's a very risky game.
Yes. And my dad keeps telling me off for it every single time. And I'm like, I don't really have the money or the time to be stopping.
And it almost feels pointless. Like, I've got half a tank left, so why would I top up?
I
I've
know.
still got that half left.
Yeah.
It always gets to that point where it says like 28 miles. And as every second goes by, it's like counting down the miles. And I have not done 10 miles in what you've just said there, so it's never right.
That's the thing with cars. Because I read somewhere that after you reach zero, you have like 30 mile left.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right. I'll maybe not take that advice, because I will take that advice and then end up broke down somewhere.
Yeah. If anyone is listening and breaks down, not my fault.
Yeah.
Not my fault.
But in a way, it would make sense to have a wee bit of a reserve,
Yeah.
after the zero.
I feel like you're just running on fumes at that stage.
It's just, and especially in this country where like you can be just out in the middle of nowhere and not find a petrol station for those 25 miles. So it's, so I drove to one, it was outside Carryduff. And I drove in, normal petrol station. And as I was driving around the pumps, I must have looked like a complete idiot, because do you ever see the video of someone driving to try and get the petrol pump on the side of the or their cap on the side of the pumps, and there's this guy who just keeps driving round circles, like not knowing you have to actually turn your car around.
Yes.
So I was kind of driving around the pumps looking, and I seen, well, there's only a diesel one, that one's only diesel. Then drove round, the other one was only diesel, and that's only home eating oil. And then the other final one was only diesel. It was a petrol station that only sold diesel. Now, I don't know if I'm being stupid, or I have never in my lifetime, I have never came across that.
I've never seen that before either.
Home heating oil and diesel.
It definitely didn't have any petrol.
100%. Like, I literally drove past every pump and it was all black. And they weren't even just like taped up, you know, that there's no unleaded left. There was literally no green pumps, all diesel.
That's really strange.
It made me worry because I am that person who plays that, 10 miles left.
Yeah.
I would have been relying on that petrol station. I was, and I was actually, when I was driving away, I was actually mind blown. I was like, is it a thing, or is it just, I don't know.
I've never seen that before. Well, I mean, it must be a thing now.
But then it almost gave me like a glimpse into the future. I was really driving past the petrol station and there's no petrol, but it's just like electric chargers.
I don't like that.
What would your view be if, say, in 20 years' time, you had to go electric?
I'm not going electric.
But what if you have to? What if, like me, you just drive past every petrol station and there's no petrol? It's just electric.
I will dig for my own fuel.
You just move country altogether.
There's no way that they can force everyone out of petrol and diesel cars. I just don't see how it's possible.
You say that though, but stranger things have happened. Let's be honest.
I mean, yes, I do agree with that.
Like when I was younger, I always remember flying cars were the thing that they were all talking about.
Yeah.
And that would have already happened by now. It was like, whether it was 2020 or whether it was, I can't remember, 2010 even maybe. I don't know. But, and that never happened.
Yeah, we still don't have flying cars.
Like, again, a good idea on paper, because get places faster and all that, but it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work.
No, it wouldn't.
And the whole electric thing, like I get, if you're, I don't know, in London or somewhere like that, but I just feel here it just does not work.
Nah, too many people in this country like cars.
And even that, like, you imagine like you're, I don't know, up the Mourns or somewhere. Like, where's the charging thing going to be up the Mourns?
I know. Like, what if you're dead? What if your battery's dead?
What if you're dead or the
What if the battery's dead?
It just doesn't appeal to me. I would much rather be able to fix the car rather than to have to then buy a new battery and basically just buy a new car, because I haven't met anyone who swears by them yet, like at all.
I think that says it all in itself. I think.
Mm-hmm. Not convinced on electric cars.
Not convinced either. I don't want anything to do with them.
Right, for next week, I promise I will do the toast and sugar.
Good stuff.
I'm glad that there are some people who did side with you. Although a lot of people were just saying it was completely alien. But yeah, well, you never know. It could be something that you could open a wee hatch. People are all hipster now. You could open a wee hatch with toast and sugar.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for listening to this episode. And of course, hit subscribe if you're not already doing that. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.